Hello. Just had a new little thought, and it's something I've thought about for a long time. So hopefully, I've got the battery life here to get this quick one out. But the question is, how much is really enough, right? Like, how much do you actually need to be quote unquote successful, or to quote have a good life, right? To be satisfied. Is there a such thing as enough? Because it feels like when you're watching all these other videos. Um, Everyone just wants more, 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 more constantly. You hear guys who are making allegedly, supposedly 20,000, 30,000, and you get out of lawn care and you listen to other guys and you'll hear numbers like 100,000 a month, 500,000 a month. And it's like, if I worked a year making 500 grand a month, I would just stop after that. Like, why do you need more than that? And this is not even a commentary on like greed or like um excessive like, this is not one of those discussions, because here's the deal. I love capitalism. I love the fact that we have the opportunity to do whatever literally we want. But I've never been someone who is just like, like there's never been like, oh man, I just need more, I need more, I need more. Like, I enjoy working. I really do. And here's the deal. Just to be totally frank, like, the main thing I'm working toward is a retirement. And if something goes crazy and we get fortunate enough to um make 3, 4, 5 million dollars, we put 1 million into the stock market and just be good. Like, I don't know. People have this insane notion that, $1 million isn't enough, or 5 million isn't. I'm pretty sure it would be. You put about a 500 grand, a milli in the stock market today as a 32-year old, and then just live off of 3 or 4 million. Like, I think that would be pretty solid. You know, but the way it is right now, obviously, with the reality of the situation we're in, it's like I have to work toward that retirement goal, which, for us, I want to say is going to be something like 2.3 in the retirement accounts. Um, and that is under the assumption that we reach that 2.3 by the time we're 50 or 60 or whatever, whatever the math was that we worked out. I can't remember. But yeah, like there is a such thing as enough. And I feel like you constantly see people who are making millions or hundreds of thousands a year, and they don't feel adequate. And I'm like, how? Like, what is that? Like, what is that? You know? And it's not motivation. It's like a mental illness or something. It's something like way. It just doesn't make any sense to me, because you are making enough. Like, if 100 grand a year is not enough, okay, I can see that. I can see that. Um, that I can see where that could get stressful at times, especially the way the economy's going, right? But if you're making 500 grand a year, like, hey, dude, you should be good. Period. And I would lower that bar too. 350 per year, 300,000, 350,000 a year. Hey, dude, you should be chilling, hanging out. 200 grand a year, you should be doing pretty darn good. Like, yeah, you're still gonna have to work. 350 grand, you're still gonna have to be working, but you should be chilling, and you should be content. And if you're not, I could promise you the money is not the issue, and I could promise you working harder is not the issue. There's another component there that is that you're more. I'm not doing good enough. It is limited to the money factor, but there's other areas where you should probably be looking at doing more, and you're not good enough, right? Like, how's your relationships with your family? How's your religion? How you doing there? Um, you know, are you taking care of the people around you? Do you have enough social interaction? Look at those areas and say, I don't have enough. I need more, more, more. I'm not good enough with my social network. I'm not good enough with this, that, and the other, right? Um, these are the kinds of things that I think are more so leading people to feel down in the dumps and miserable. The other factor, I guess, would go into that is the debt ratio, right? Um, if you are earning 500 grand a year, but you only take home 100, you're doing it wrong. Period. And you could go back to a video a couple of videos ago. If you're in a business making 500 grand a year and you're only taking home 50, 60, 100,000, you're doing it wrong. Um, they're called small businesses for a reason. They're called family businesses for a reason. And this idea that you have to put everything back into the business is stupid. And I think it puts people in a jam where um, they have to just keep working, working, working. And if that's the life you wanted to live, where you're just working, 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 why did you not just stay in your corporate job? Because you hear that too. People go into lawn care, they leave $100,000 job. You know, I've heard multiple stories of like, oh, I was a lawyer making 250 grand a year, and or more, and we went and made our lawn care, our detailing business, and we could never be happier. It's like, dude, if you're making that kind of money and you're that miserable, and you went to law school for some reason, you surely don't hate law. You surely don't hate your doctoring job, surgeon, whatever. Surely you don't hate it because you went to school for it. You know, um, just find another place to work. I just there's so many things that I never understand when people are like more, 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 and I'm sure maybe it's just some giant flaw in my mind. But I'm here to tell you for a fact there is absolutely something called enough. And it's pretty darn easy to achieve as long as you're realistic about your goals and you're not comparing yourself to your neighbor, and you're not comparing yourself to, you know, someone who, you know, did go to college and made 500 grand, and you're not comparing yourself to someone who did get lucky and make a $1 gajillion business, you know, um, or getting advice from people like Robert Kiyosaki, who, by the way, stole his business idea, right? You're comparing yourself to people that you're not. The playing cards are, they're playing, you know, poker, and you're playing Uno. Like your cards are not the same. It's not going to work. You know, you have to be realistic about stuff like that. And I just don't think enough people are, and it sends them into this spiral of no, I need more, I need more, I need to go. No, you don't. Just chill. Like, if your house, you can barely make the payments, sell it, move, take the loss. You know, if your truck payment's too much, your car payment's too much, just get rid of it. Like, that is an option, is to lower your means of living, right? Um, but no one ever takes that route. You know, they always take the route that is, I need to work more. I need to, I'm not grinding enough. And it's so destructive, and it's so, damning. It's just like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then you wind up, I've seen so many lawn care YouTube channels, where the guy gets on, and sometimes it's a young kid, because young kids are gullible, and they're like, what's up, guys? Today we're going to mow all these lawns, and it's going to be super cool. We're going to make so much money. And then, it just doesn't go that way. And then that disappears. And then you find out they quit. I just watched a video the other day of a guy who quit lawn care because he's constantly working on equipment and there's no money in it. And like, he's saying all the things that I've said in a lot of my past videos, You know, lawn care is not a business where you're going to go and make a gajillion dollars, especially not going solo, right? Um, there's a lot of stressors and a lot of difficulty, and the profitability is fairly low, you know. And listen, it's tough to make it work, but all these people that tell you you're going to make a gajillion dollars, like, I promise you, remember, their deck of cards is not the same as yours. And you have to be really, really open to what your reality is in comparison to theirs, and realize that the things you want, the things they want, they might be very different. And their enough is going to be different than your enough, or at least it should be, right? All of these things should be different for you than they are for them. So, all right, enough rambling. I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you liked it, comment, subscribe. Hopefully the video is not too dark. It's only 5:30, so that's that's just the time of year. Anyhow, have a good one. Doop, doop.